guys, Richard from Remountain Horsemanship here. First video was about building a loop and sorting your coils out, and this video is going to be about throwing an overhand loop. So by now you guys should all be very proficient at sorting out your coils and making sure they're all nice and straight before you build a loop. When I'm roping, I like to take the tail end of my rope and I either drop it on the ground if I'm standing, or if I'm on a horse, I'll kick it over to the left side of the horse so that the tail doesn't get in between my coils and make a great big rat's nest. So first thing we're going to do is make a loop just like you guys have been practicing and just like you guys are really good at. I like my loops to be about as tall as I am standing on the ground, and I like my spoke to be about half the size of my loop. So if I set it down like that, my spoke's about half as long as my loop. The part of the rope touching the ground, that's called my tip or my dip. Once you make your loop, kind of set it on the ground upside down so your fingers are facing up. So you make your loop, fingers facing up like that. Swing it all the way around your head. Big circle, stretch your arm out in the back. You want that loop to stay open all the way around. When I swing, my right hand on my ropes is loose. A lot of times people will put a death grip on it, and that'll cause you to get a figure eight. And we'll talk about figure eights in a minute. But you want to swing all the way around. You want your wrist to rotate as you go around. So as I go in front of my body, my knuckles are going to be up, and then they're going to go down in the back. Knuckles up, knuckles down. You're swinging, knuckles up, knuckles down, knuckles up, knuckles down. And pay attention to my elbow also, because my elbow, as my wrist rotates to bring my knuckles down, my elbow comes up. So you want your wrist to rotate, and you want your elbow to go up and down as you're swinging this rope all the way around your head. A lot of times people get a figure eight in their loop. And a figure eight is when you're swinging and then all of a sudden that happens. You have a figure eight. Some people try to swing a figure eight out. That doesn't really work. Some people try to straighten a figure eight out like that, and that doesn't really work. So what you do is you grab your spoke, which is the part going through the hondu, and you just hold on to your spoke, and you take the strand attached to your hondu, and you just twist it. And that gets rid of the figure eight. It's just like a bread tie. If you're holding on to the strand running through your hondu, if you're holding on to your spoke, you grab your hondu and you twist it and your figure eight gets worse, well, just go the other way. And I promise you, the figure eight will come out. A lot of times people get figure eights from holding their hand too tight, swinging the rope. A lot of times people will get figure eights from using too much wrist action. If your rope's soft enough and you get your too much wrist action in there like that, then that can kind of cause a figure eight to come into your loop. So if you happen to get figure eight in your loop, just hold on to your spoke, grab your hondu, twist it, make your spoke, and you're ready to go. When you're roping overhand, you want the dip to be on the left side of your body. So I'll be swinging here, and I want the dip to kind of be over here on the left side of my body. When I throw, I'm going to throw just like I throw a baseball. So I'm swinging, and where my fingers point is where that rope's going to go. I like to rope cones because I can always just flip my loop off of my cones. So make your loop, swing it, knuckles up in front, down in the back, up, down, all the way around. Dips kind of on the left side of my body, throw. your loop off. There's a bunch of different ways to make your loop and collect your slack. This is just one way. When you swing your rope, you want your index finger out. So your index finger is going to be pointing while you're swinging your rope. And that way when you throw, that will help keep your loop open. And when you throw, it's pointing right at your target. Now watch when I pull my slack. When I pull my slack, my left hand simultaneously goes forward. So that when I'm on a horse, my hand goes forward, I pull my slack, and then I can take my dallies. And I take my dallies in a counterclockwise motion, so I'll go in front of the horn, and then between my belly and the horn. Roping's something that you just practice, practice, practice. I had a fence post at my house when I was a kid, and I must rope that thing 500,000 times if I roped it once. So just practice, practice, practice. Once you've thrown it a couple hundred times at a cone, you can move to the dummy. And for an overhand loop, generally I'd be on the left side of that cow's hip. The cow would be on my right. And I'd swing my loop, my dip's a little bit over my left shoulder, and I throw. When you're throwing at a cow or the dummy, you want to have a follow through. You don't want to stop. You want to follow through. And what that's going to do is when that rope comes around, it's going to put a figure 8 in your loop on the off side of the cow. And that'll help you from getting a belly roped when all you wanted was the head. Loop, dip over your left shoulder, follow through, and you'll get that figure 8. Left hand up, pull your slack, go to your horn. I like to pitch my slack to cause my loop to come off my dummy. I don't want to have to walk up to it every time I rope it. Practice swinging as you're walking. So you're walking, got your eye on your cow. So here I'd have a little bit of a flatter loop. And I still got my figure 8. So when I'm at this angle, my loop's not as steeply dipped over my left shoulder. It's a little bit flatter. But my delivery and follow through is the same. You want to hold the coils in your left hand kind of loose, not loose enough that everything just kind of falls out. But you want to hold them loose enough that you can send a coil out. So I'm going to rope, and one coil is going to fall out of my left hand. Or a couple did. If I didn't do that, then my loop would have never made it, and it would have fallen short. So keep your left hand just open enough so those coils can come out if they need to. Practice coiling your ropes. This isn't a race. It's all about just getting the basics down. Once you're smooth and you can do these things without looking at your rope, then you can start increasing the speed. Practice walking, different angles to your cow. Pulling your slack. So that's kind of an overhand shot. An overhand shot has a whole bunch of different deliveries and swings that you could use just depending on what kind of shot's presented for you or what kind of shot you present to yourself. So just practice over and over and over. Practice that overhand shot just as if you were on a horse. Pretend you're taking those dallies. Don't get frustrated, or if you do get frustrated, don't give up. Just keep trying. Thanks for watching.